Welcome to Hospitality 360 with myself. It's a special edition that we're doing here right before Christmas. Obviously, our crew that's usually with us, Brian J. Esposito, Stephanie Malik, and Calvin Stovall, unfortunately are with their families this week and couldn't make it to the show. But that doesn't mean we don't bring in more rock stars like our every 2 week guest, Jeff Driskel, also part of EV, Alex Eckerson, wide receiver from the Carolina Panthers, and a dear friend of mine, Ashley Peckich. He's actually first time joining the show, so I'm gonna quickly just go around and maybe just give a quick intro to our audience. Ashley, why don't you go first?
Sure. So I am a small business owner. I run a successful dog kennel, and we basically do daycare and boarding and grooming. And I do a lot of rescue work with animals. When I'm not doing that, I am doing modeling for Maxim.
Thank you, Ashley. Jeff?
All right, so I'm Jeff Driskel. I'm in my 6th year in the NFL with the Houston Texans. I've been on 4 different teams now, so the NFL is a crazy ride, but it's been awesome. As well as being in the NFL, I'm also on staff with EV Hotel Group. I am the Chief Impact Officer. I've been in the role for about 4 or 5 weeks now, and it's just been an awesome experience. Getting to know people within EV and also with people who we have built strategic relationships with. And as we transition into the off season, I'll be spending a lot more time in that role. So looking forward to, growing in that role and, helping EV and the people that we serve move forward. And yeah, so excited to be here today. Thanks for having me, Ken.
Thank you, Jeff. You're always a pleasure to come on the show and obviously give you great insights. So thank you. Alex?
Hey, guys. Happy to be here as well. Alex Erickson, also my 6th year in the NFL. I'm with the Carolina Panthers. Spent 5 years in Cincinnati and then a few months in Houston, the Texans, and now I'm in Carolina. So, like Jeff said, a crazy ride in the NFL, but it's cool. It's a cool profession. You get to meet a lot of people and form a lot of great relationships. So I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Alex, I heard you're the fastest wide receiver in the NFL. Is that true?
No, that's not true. But I run all right. I don't know if I'm the fastest.
You're the fastest wide receiver to be on Hospitality 360.
Yes, I'll take that claim for sure.
Yeah. You got that right.
That's it. And wait, this is the only show in hospitality where we can have an NFL quarterback and an NFL receiver, and they don't have to throw to each other.
That's right.
They can wear the same hat and almost the same shirt.
This is our work clothes.
Yes,
this is what
right.
we wear so
is that complimentary? There's got to be some complimentary clothing in there. So, guys, I just want to tell you, we spent a week in Phoenix. It was an amazing time. That's where the first EV is going to be opening. We got to meet Arizona State University, the students of Arizona State University, the Thunderbird Global School of Management. Phenomenal. It was an amazing time. I got a huge tour. It was almost 4 or 5 hours. I've never experienced anything of that sort of innovation. With Arizona State University is the most innovative university in the country. They were just rated by the U.S. World News, and we got to meet with the city of Phoenix's mayor and chief of staff. We met with Ron Price, visit Phoenix. Oh, and there's so much excitement about EV coming to Phoenix. I mean, just amazing. So I can't wait for that Super Bowl 2023 at EV Hotel, the biggest Super Bowl party ever.
Can't wait to be there.
Yes, you definitely will be there. So will Alex, and so will Jeff.
Yeah, if we're not playing in the game, we'll be there.
All right, beautiful. There you go.
Good
Hopefully you guys
answer.
aren't playing
Either
against
way,
each
we'll be
other.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, it's all right. We'll bring Evie right on the field. Don't worry. You know, it's a
There you
floating
go.
hotel. But I kind of want to also thank our sponsors, contractors, closers, connections. Chris Meyer just had his mistletoe Christmas party. Phenomenal. I was there, over 400 people, just an amazing time. So thank you, Chris, for being a loyal partner of the show, and obviously EV Hotel being a loyal partner to your chapter here in Atlanta. And also congratulations on bringing CCC to Miami. So I'll definitely be there for the first event, and anyone from EV is more than welcome, and anyone from anywhere else is more than welcome to join me as well. So looking forward to the first one in Miami there. And our other sponsor, Surf Request, it's your preferred business centers vendor for hotels. It is one of the three or one of the four business center vendors in hospitality. So thank you, Surf Request, as well. And so I want to kind of get into, we do a question of the show every week. And this week's question is, what's your best moment of 2021? I'll go to Alex first.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I thought about it for a little bit, and I think kind of just thinking about my journey throughout this whole year. I moved to a new team. It didn't work out, so I went to another team, and this one's worked out. So I think just that whole journey in general, the ups and downs of a season, the ups and downs of the different parts of the journey, moving city to city, just having my family there, and just I would say all that combined has just been a pretty special moment. Even though it hasn't gone the way I thought it was going to go in every sense, but just that whole journey and just fighting through that adversity and just trying to keep improving every day. It's just, I would say that as a collective has been the best moment of 2021 for me.
Absolutely. Diversity makes us all stronger, right? So,
absolutely.
Great. Thank you, Alex. Jeff?
All right, so I'm going to go with a cop-out answer and pick two, one being professional, one being personal. I'll start with the personal one. It was a couple weeks ago, and my 3-year-old daughter Jensen had a Christmas pageant for her school, and just kind of watching her for a couple weeks practice her songs, get super excited for it, and then go out and sing on stage with her classmates. It was just an awesome experience. It was just kind of the first moment where I could really see her growing up, and really turning into a kid rather than a baby. So that was a really cool moment that stood out. And then professionally, just signing with the Texans. I was a free agent for a while. There was a few teams that were interested, and it's always a hard decision picking a new team or a new employer. And I'm just super happy that I was able to sign with the Texans and stay on through the length of the year, because I've met a ton of great people. I've grown as a person and as a player. So I think just choosing the Texans was a great fit for me and my family. So I'll have to go with those two moments.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Great stuff too. Ashley?
I actually have to say, for this year, the best thing that I have had is to watch my business grow. It has grown a lot since since the United States has opened up. And I think that a lot of people are now realizing how important it is to spend holidays with families, just be with friends. And I only know it because my business has doubled this year. And I mean, I just think it's amazing just to hear like everybody dropping their dogs off, excited to go see their families, spend time with their friends. And, that's what life's about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of different businesses have obviously strived due to this pandemic and pent up travel demand as well. So, I'm very happy for your business. So, thank you. And obviously, for me, it had, and I'm going to go with combo as well because, my daughter, she didn't experience her birthday because of COVID in 2020. And, I wanted to do something special. So this year we had her birthday party in Key West, and it was in March. So that's the worst part of COVID for me is the kids, how much they
Yeah,
suffered,
definitely.
just tremendously. It's horrible. And so that was number one. And number two, I think most people would probably guess this, is the day I launched EV Hotel.
Absolutely.
And it was just a dream come true at that point, for 25 years to know how much I've learned and what I've done in my life. I was able to get to a level where I could actually create my own brand. And, it's just been a great journey, the last 6 months alone. Obviously, took me almost 2 years to create it on the back end and trying to hide it. I mean, just all this stuff that, it's just kind of built in where you can't say anything. You got to keep it all in for 2 years. And then finally the day comes where you can release it. Like, it's like a snowstorm just went away. I was able to take a plow with a pickup truck and plow it all away. That's how it felt. But I'm glad. I'm very happy for 2022. I'm very excited. There's so many great things. I get to meet great people like you guys and so many other people, and having Jeff on our executive team. I'm sure Alex will be part of EB soon, and then Ashley will invite you as well. So,
Right.
But I look forward to a great year, 2022. I say the year of the year of the tiger. I mean, those two things stick to me. So it's going to be just phenomenal. And I wish you guys the best and everybody else the best out there for their 2022 as well.
Absolutely.
So I guess everybody's happy about 2022. We got dollar signs in 2022.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let me take you guys right to it. I don't know if we have some crypto lovers. You might not be a crypto lover after you hear this, or you might be going to a crypto funeral soon somewhere.
Yes.
Because there is a such thing as a crypto funeral now that I found out last week, that once you lose too much, there's no other place except right in the ground for you. Mm-hmm. Or should I say to go in the dump? Because that's where this gentleman right here, he's spending his time right now in the dump because of the fact he's at a loss right now at almost $1 billion or $500 million. It's probably up to $1 billion now. But James Howells, that is the gentleman's name. He might have been today as rich as the Queen of England. Mm-hmm. He mined 80,000 coins worth $1.4 million in 2013. What is it worth today? Just as the article says, $500 million in Bitcoin. It's probably more, as I said. Is this bad luck? Don't know. But what happened is what everybody's probably asking the question is, what exactly happened? Well, he had 2 hard drives. He decided one hard drive was bad. He threw the hard drive in the trash, took the garbage bag to his front yard. The garbage truck picked it up. It ended at this beautiful place right here that you are seeing. Mm-hmm. And that is his life right now. That a little square piece from a computer is hanging in the dump somewhere, and it's worth probably almost $1 billion. He's been looking for it for the last 7 years. But I want to give him the sad news is the day he finds it, it's going to be corrupted. Mm-hmm. It's going to be no good. So just a piece of advice to him, just start over, buddy. you know, just start over. Because there's no
I agree.
There's no reason to look for this. But I'll go to you, Jeff, first. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, my thoughts are, first, I just feel terrible for this guy. Obviously, he has a heart for crypto, has a heart for technology. In the article, he basically says that he's happy that Bitcoin won't like unlock it and give it back to him, because that would be a major flaw in the system, and just not something that would be good for cryptocurrency in general. But yeah, I mean, when I was reading this story, I was just thinking to myself, like, how sick I would be. But I mean, the guy's trying. You can't fault him for trying. He's calling the right people to try to get into that dump and get his hard drive out of there. But it's crazy. I mean, you hear about these stories. I've heard a couple other similar stories, and I hope it's just a lesson for people down the road that these passwords are, the most important thing to holding your wealth. And this guy unfortunately lost $500 million.
I would tell you, it's a great thing you brought that up, Jeff, right? I would tell people one word: Zappo. They will hold your Bitcoin in a military bunker. Okay, Don't make that mistake. I feel horrible for this guy. I could just imagine. I mean, I don't even know what I would be doing. You know what I mean?
I'd be with a shovel. I wouldn't be waiting for. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a Bitcoin holder since 2013, and I'm like, when I saw this and I saw the 2013 there, I'm like, God damn it! I'm like, I bought it in 2013, and then I quickly checked and make sure my Bitcoin's around. You know what I mean? I mean, it just made.
I was thinking of how much computing power he would have to mine. What was it, 8,000 or 80,000 Bitcoin?
80,000.
It was 80,000.
He was an engineer too.
Computing power to do that now would be crazy, and he was just doing it on like a laptop, right?
That's it. It's
just crazy how much it's grown since then. With all the people, with all the users that have been involved, and all the coins that have been mined. It's kind of cool to see how far it's come.
Yeah, I mean, it said in there that he loves to drink, or he was drinking. I'm like, I wonder how much I wonder how much he's drinking right now. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but Alex?
Yeah, I just see you lose $500 million. Man. Feeling that did a hard drive away. But man, like, I'd take my shovel, get to that dump, and just start digging. But no, I think it is cool that they don't give him, access to that, even though he lost it. Just because that's what it's all about, the security of it and all that. But man, $500 million down in the landfill somewhere. Oh man, it's hard to even fathom that.
I personally think, and I don't know if you guys want to hear my thoughts on this, it's in somebody's hands already. You know what I mean?
You think?
It's in somebody's hands already. I think from that time he lost it, and hard drives are something that you just don't throw away. So people plug the hard drives in, and they see what's actually on the hard drive, whether it might be something like crazy bank counts, bank account numbers, whatever it might be. Confidential information is the only information that's always on the hard drives. So somebody plugged that thing in, and somebody's a billionaire somewhere. So,
but with the blockchain, no one will know.
Yeah, no one will know.
Right.
No one.
Yep.
It's not like you can find it somewhere. You know what I mean? It's just no one will know. Ashley?
7 years. It's a long time to be frustrated. And that man has gone to every length possible to let him dig to try to find that. And now that you're saying that you think that it could be in someone else's hands, you know what? That could possibly be very true, because with all of this, I guess if like I saw like a hard drive or whatever, and I worked at the dump, maybe I would look at it to see what was on it, to see if it would like work and I could pull something up.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for the guy because that's so, oh my God.
Yeah, it's
I don't
horrible.
even, I think I would, I don't know where I would be. And even in the article, it says like, they don't claim that that's the reason they got divorced, but like his wife left him with his kids. And I don't know if he had a crazy obsession and, that,
Oh, he absolutely did.
it had to, like, he just had to be absolutely out of his mind. And I just feel for him. And yeah. And you know what? You have me thinking it's definitely in someone else's hands.
Yeah. It's absolutely in someone else's hands, and I would tell you, but the good thing about this, and this is really good for hospitality, is this eliminates fraud. This eliminates theft, So we don't have to worry about our credit cards being compromised. We don't have to worry about our debit cards being lost, us losing cash, somebody picks it up.
Yeah.
Just if this is with you and it's secured somewhere. So you don't have to worry about these kind of things, right? You just have to make sure you got that code.
Don't
lose that code. I tell people all day. I actually have. I'll give you guys a quick story. A real good friend of mine. Her name is Renee Lanos. Sorry, Renee, I'm telling you a story. She had a bunch of coins that are probably worth a lot of money now, but they just disappeared in thin air because she forgot to do a step in her Coinbase. But those are the things that are happening. You have to be really careful with this. Yes, it won't be compromised.
And what if your computer dies? Like what if your computer just dies and like you can't, like your motherboard is just fried? Just stuff like that just like brings concern to me about it.
You gotta cloud that thing.
Right, cloud. Right.
Yeah. A couple backups on that thing.
Real value.
Yeah, a lot of backups.
Hide it in your daughter's teddy bear or something.
Yes. Right. Hope that she doesn't give that one away that year.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me take you guys to the next piece. So we know that there's a labor issue in hospitality, right? But this is more than hospitality. The data currently shows that the boomers are to blame for the labor shortages. It's due to early retirement. Mm-hmm. Right now, the numbers show over 90% of the 3.6 million people that left the labor workforce were elderly people. Okay. Now, the boomer aspect is the booming stock market, where now they've become what we call young millionaires, we call crypto millionaires. So we have all these sorts of people that didn't need to work the regular jobs and didn't need to work the 9 to 5s and didn't feel the need to be there. But my thing is, what happens now? They're saying that the early retirement people are coming back slowly now, but there's still a shortage. There's a shortage everywhere. Right. Now it's obviously going to get worse because of the Delta, the COVID variant, because obviously there's a lot of news coming out how that's playing out. But when I speak of this labor issues, I know Alex and Jeff, you guys travel a lot, so I would probably go to you, Jeff, on this and ask you, I mean, what are you thinking about this labor component? Are you seeing a difference, or do you feel you're seeing less elderly people in the workforce than you did before?
I don't know. I guess I haven't looked for it. And then I kind of know the numbers. I'll start to look for it more. And just like anything, when you're looking for a new car, you never noticed it before, and next thing you know, you see it driving all over the place. So I'm sure that's how it'll be. But just reading this article, I mean, I think the easiest thing to do would be to say, man, these people are lazy. They don't want to work. People just don't want to work because they're lazy. But when you really dissect it and you look at the issue, it's not just individuals don't want to work. They don't want to work for companies that don't have good cultures. They don't want to work for a company that they don't enjoy to go to work every day. Because at the end of the day, people are trading their time for money, and time is super valuable. So people don't just want to give it away, because over the last couple of years, they've realized that, working isn't everything. I've been having a good time with my family. I've figured out a way to get by, so I'm not just going to trade that for something that I don't enjoy. So I think a lot of this issue goes back to the employers, and not just blaming it on our lazy society.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're so right about that, Jeff. I think the mindsets have changed. We've become smarter. The employees have become smarter. They've realized there's a lot of flexibility. Turn Uber on, turn Uber off, you know?
Yep.
And I think they've realized that. They said, look, making $11 an hour, I'm driving Uber, I'm making almost $50 an hour, $60, 100, you know? And I could turn it off. I don't have to pay for daycare expenses.
Right.
I can just work whenever I feel like working. And they literally can work even on vacation if they want, So, there's all that flexibility going into it. Alex?
Yeah, I'm part owner in a bar, a restaurant back home in Wisconsin, and we've had just yesterday, we've had issues with having to change our hours because of labor shortage. Like, just can't get people to work for that, those hours that we need. And I think it's like what Jeff was saying. There's a lot of different variables that go into it, and I think for us in our market that we're in, it's a smaller community, so there's obviously less people, but it is, these other companies are looking for workers too, so they're competitive with their wages and their flexibility and all that stuff. So it's more appealing to go work for a company that has more flexible hours. You don't have to work on the weekends. You don't have to work nights and stuff like that. So that's the issues that I'm seeing personally with, my business, on the road and stuff. I haven't noticed it too much. I know I've heard some stories about stadiums. The wait lines are really long to get in the stadiums because some of the gates aren't open because they don't have enough security people to work. And I know.
Wow, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, and that job is, there's a lot of people that are probably 55 or older in that job because it's, it's a part-time job. It's kind of like a side thing people do. And so that obviously, after reading this article, that market has gone down a lot, and there's just not as many people wanting to do that stuff now. And I think it does go back to the pandemic, people spending more time and with their families and the stock market. So they're like, well, my retirement's good. I don't need to work this security job and deal with all this stuff. So that's some of the issues that I've seen, personally.
Oh yeah, and it's great insights. I didn't even think about it. I go to a lot of sports events, and you're so right about that. It's more of the elderly crowd that's running the gates, checking your tickets, selling merchandise, all that. Yeah, you're so right about that. I didn't even think about that. And even like I'm a Diamond member with Uber. Every time I talk to my Uber driver, and he or she always tells me this is what they did before COVID. This is what they did before. I even ran it. I had an executive that drove me the other day of a technology company. I'm not going to say who, but he said he just quit, and this is what he does. He retired early. He's only 43. I'm 41.
43, that's early.
Yeah. And that's the early retirement they're talking about. And because, look, they can still make a little bit of cash. They might have a great bank account, but everybody wants to make a little bit extra, and this is what they're doing. They're like, look, and he said he's investing in the stock market. He's like, after we're talking, he's like, which stock you buying? I'm like, I told him one of the stocks I'm really into is PUN, PHUN. And I told him, and he's like, I got this much and that much. So yeah, it's a lot of the stock market, early retirement, flexibility. And Jeff, you're so right about it. It's not like people are lazy. No, they're smarter.
Right.
They're smarter. They know what they're doing now. So we have to keep up with that trend. We have to make sure we can give some great deliverables that will want them to work. So, Ashley?
So just like Alex, for my doggy daycare, I mostly have younger people in their 20s that work for me. So I haven't really noticed it a lot, but I can say that two of my best friends, mothers, worked for Delta for 30 plus years. And I know that they took early retirement because they got great benefits, a great package basically. So they decided to retire early. And my one friend, her mother is working at a furniture store in Buckhead, and she is making like cash that she spends like to go to dinner or do, travel or do stuff like that. So I've only seen it with my friends, but I haven't seen it personally with my business. People in their 50s, 60s don't tend to want to chase dogs and animals down.
Wow, I know. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's going to get better. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
I've said it this in February or March of this year. I said, look, we're not going to see a full recovery till Q2 of 2023. And I'll keep holding on to that. Our first EV will be in the first Q of 2023. So
let me write that down on my calendar real quick.
Yeah, bet on it too. So, I mean, we're getting there, but obviously we always have hiccups, and it's going to be an up and down. It's going to be like the roller coaster. Somebody reached out to me today. He's like, "What's going on with the stock market?" I'm like, "What's going on is what's supposed to be going on. It's supposed to be normal. We can't keep seeing profits everywhere." So, and that's what's going on. There's a correction. If it's not right now, it's going to happen very soon. But this is what we have to be prepared for: inflation, correction, real estate prices that are ridiculous, supply chain. I mean, who started charging $2 for a banana? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Ridiculous. So, I mean, we're going to have these sorts of things. So I think the labor market will stabilize a little better, probably Q2 next year. And then the following Q2, I think this is where we'll get back to normal again. So you guys have anything else on that, or we good to kind of head on to the next piece?
Sure.
So is everybody here a baseball fan?
No, because we have the Pirates.
Oh, okay.
Pittsburgh has the Pirates, so no. No, I am. I'm a Pirates fan, but we don't win, so.
Oh, you guys never win.
I follow it, but I don't follow it as closely as the Steelers.
Oh, gotcha.
We follow Dan Vogelbach, Ken.
Yeah, I know. That's Milwaukee Brewers, right?
Right.
Go Brewers, baby.
Yeah.
Brewers.
So is that your both of yours team? I thought you being from Florida, you being from Wisconsin. I'm guessing that's got to be your team. But for you, Jeff, I thought maybe the Marlins or the Rays.
I follow buddies.
You do. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why you follow EV.
There it is.
If you guys don't know, this is the EV sign. This is what EV
is. It is?
Yep.
All right. I got it.
EV sign.
All right. I got it.
So I would tell you, I'm a diehard Yankees fan. Being from the Northeast, grew up in New Jersey, being from New York City, diehard Yankees fan. I always will be. Fan since Danny Tartabull, Randy Velarde, all those guys. So I go back in the day. But I remember the day when Derek Jeter flipped the ball to home plate in the Oakland A's playoff game. I'm sure everybody remembers that one, right?
Yep.
Where he flips it, easy tag, Derek Jeter becomes a Hall of Famer. Actually, that's not why he's a Hall of Famer, but But if you remember the Oakland A's are reportedly moving to Las Vegas. There's a deal in place right now where they're going to build $1 billion stadium at the Tropicana Hotel site, where I believe it's leased by Bally's. There's already now Las Vegas went from having no sports teams, 0 sports teams. Then
Then very quickly.
What is the NHL team? I forget it's Las Vegas
The
something.
The Knights.
The Knights.
Yep.
There you go. The Knights. The Knights in their first year made what? They made the Stanley Cup Finals, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Huge.
I was actually in Vegas for that.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
The Raiders were supposed to be good, but then John Gruden decided to eat the wrong milk with the cereal. And, he became really sour. So I would say that now I think the Raiders will be fine. They'll get back to the promised land, but for hotel wise, the city of Las Vegas didn't need a sports team, didn't need these sports teams to do well in hotels. This is now an added bonus, a big added bonus, huge added bonus. Now they're just missing an NBA team that I feel like is coming very soon. But the conundrum of this issue here is the Oakland A's don't spend any money. They have the size of a payroll of the Alabama football team, and I don't even mean the players, the coaches. That's the size of their payroll. Okay. So, but they win every year. No matter what, they win every year. They're like the Tampa Bay Rays, right?
Right.
My question here is going to be moving to Las Vegas for them. Are we going to see the Oakland A's spending money, and will the Oakland A's drive a lot of their fans to go to Las Vegas and stay at the hotels? Because the Oakland A's cannot even fill their own stadium in Oakland. So what does this really mean for Las Vegas? I'll go to you, Alex, first on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Vegas has an appeal for professional sports. Like, you got all the entertainment there, and like, the city's set up for that. People come in, go to the game, go to the casinos, do all the entertainment stuff. In terms of how they run their franchise, I don't know if that's gonna, if they're gonna be more, I know the Raiders, they spend money, they got that fancy stadium, and so they're not scared to, show off a little bit. So I wonder if, the A's will, go that way, to keep up with the city and stuff like that. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think, I played in the Raiders' old stadium in Oakland, and that thing was, that was like one of the worst stadiums to play. It was a cool stadium, like just because all the history, but like in terms of like the locker rooms, you're like, man, this feels like a small college.
Have you been to the new one yet, Alex?
No, I haven't been out there yet.
It is awesome. I played there last year. It is like, we've played in so many stadiums dating back to college. The nicest ones, in the country, and this one, whoa.
It's got grass, right? Don't they roll the field too?
Yep, they roll the grass right in. So,
so you guys actually, have you guys been to an Oakland A's game?
Never baseball.
You've never been to a baseball game?
I have.
Oh, no, Jeff, have you been to a baseball game?
Never. I'm saying I've been to that stadium when the Raiders played there.
Oh,
never
gotcha.
For an A's.
Yeah.
Yep.
I went there for the game exactly that I was telling you guys about, the game 5 of the divisional series where it was the Yankees and the Oakland A's. And it was a great spot, but I don't know. I still can't buy this. Like, I can't buy this Oakland A's to Vegas. It doesn't fit in the green in Vegas and just the whole atmosphere of the Oakland A's. But I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?
I think that any sports team in Vegas will do well. I think they'll figure out a way to attract the old fans, kind of the diehard athletic fans, as well as, kind of people who are unaffiliated with the team. I think they'll choose a Vegas team. I think just sports in general in Vegas is just set up for success. It's got everything you need when you want to go to a game. Like Alex said, it's got, the best restaurants in the country. top-notch entertainment, and then you can go watch a game. I think it's set up for, a long weekend. You go to watch a series and not just an afternoon game. Like when I think about the Cincinnati Reds, I think about people going to a Thursday 1:00 game. When I think about, a baseball team in Vegas, I think about people flying in for 3 days to watch the series, go to a couple shows, and as well as a couple dinners. So, but I think you're right. It's a weird fit for the A's, just because they're not a splash team, and they just go about their business and figure out a way to get it done rather than being flashy. So, if I was an owner, I would want to go to Vegas. That's for sure. But I think they definitely have to spend some money in that town.
Yeah, definitely. I think for the hotel wise, it'll do well. I think they'll get some following behind it. But it's just funny, right? Like, how did Vegas just get two Oakland teams? People say the Raiders, but how did Vegas just get two Oakland teams? And are they bringing like the whole city of Oakland with them too? So it's kind of weird. Ashley?
Honestly, I think he'll do great. When I was in Vegas and the Raiders were playing, there was nothing but Raiders jerseys everywhere. And those people had to have come from somewhere. So, I mean, every bar I went to, it was like I couldn't even believe it. So, because I know, like Pittsburgh, anytime you go to a Pittsburgh game, the whole place is black and yellow. So it was crazy. So I think if they're going to pick a spot to try to do better, I think that Vegas is good. I mean, just even with the gambling and betting that people do on teams, in Vegas, and, go to a good show, or you could go with your buddies to the game and your girlfriend and her friends could, go see a show and go to dinner. I think it'll bring something new.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be good for Vegas. I'm excited to see how it all plays out. And Vegas, I'll be there in about 10 days, so we'll see how that all plays out. And I'll be excited to see. I'm very excited to see the Raiders Stadium. Just want to go by it. I've heard stories about it from what it looks like from the inside. You played there already, right, Jeff?
Yeah, played there last year, and it is awesome. You got to check it out.
Oh wow, Alex, you too? Have you?
I haven't been out there yet.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So,
I have not.
Yeah, well, Alex, you can tag along for New Year's Eve. Jeff's got some duties he's got to do New Year's Eve. So,
hey, with Alex.
Oh, really? You guys hanging out together?
No, we got the season goes later this year. They added that 17th game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, forgot about that one.
We'll be working. When you're out there partying and hanging out, we'll be working.
Yeah. It's fine. You know what I mean? I'll watch you guys. I'll give you guys a call on when the clock hits midnight. It's EV time.
Perfect.
It's EV time. I'll show you. I'll show you how.
Yeah, we'll take a shot for EV.
Vegas is going to throw up two EVs.
No doubt.
So, but that's the end of the show, guys. I know we had the Netherlands piece. But we're just running out of time. But just to let people know real quick about Netherlands, they have a lockdown in place now. Stores, bars, restaurants will be closed till the 14th of June. Schools and universities are closed till January 9th. The variant of COVID has been detected in 89 countries and is already doubles every few days. So all the articles will be part of the Hospitality 360 newsletter. That'll get posted whether it's today or tomorrow. So look for it on LinkedIn. And we look forward to seeing you guys again next week. We're going to do another special to head us into 2022. So look out for the surprises for next week, what we're going to have. Thank you, Ashley, for being here. Obviously, thank you, Jeff, for being part of EV and just being such a candidate of being on the show every other week, every third week, whatever it is. You're always there when you're asked to. Alex, appreciate you for being on for the second time. I look forward to chatting more with you about EV and all the great things for 2022 as well. So thank you guys. Ashley and Alex, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. And Jeff, I'll definitely be talking to you. And everybody out there, Merry Christmas, stay safe, be with your families. And one thing only, this year, leave milk and cookies for Santa. Don't forget that. All right, guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry
Thanks for everybody
Christmas.
watching.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.